Now we've got a double murder. Here's this two mothers, and now they're mourning their lost sons. Let me tell you about one more incident that I had heard of that really, really upset me so much. And this was about a young man got shot here in Massachusetts, and they put a memorial up in, the area that he got shot and killed. And the people in the community, I guess, don't hold me to exact, but I guess, I'm paraphrasing here, I guess what happened was they didn't want the memorial there. Something about the young man was in drugs or whatever. They were speculating, Everybody that wears baggy pants, a cap, big clothes are drug dealers. I mean, come on. Back in my day, we wore bell bottoms and halter tops. I mean, I wasn't a prostitute. So stop judging these young people. Cut it out. So anyway, I guess someone moved the memorial items, or they had to move them. And then some ignorant jerk put a sign up saying, we don't want this here. We don't want drug addicts in our neighborhood. Let me tell you something. First of all, if you Google, do you want to know the number one race that does drugs? I'm not even going to go any further. Google that. And I bet you this is not minority kids in the inner city. Okay? Now, that upset me so much that they took that baby stuff down, wrote that ignorant sign like they did. Don't you have compassion? That kid has a mom, sisters and brothers, friends, family who love him. Why would you do something like that? I can understand if the memorial was up there weeks at a time or whatever. Maybe we could pass some type of law, you guys, where when these kids are getting murdered on the street, which we know they are, or anyone that gets murdered on the street, doesn't have to be a kid, that the memorials can be erected, but they have to come down by the day after the funeral. Not the day of the funeral, but say the day after the funeral. Come on. Let's have some type of empathy here, some feeling. Because you want to know something? Again, I bet you anything, the persons who did that never had a homicide happen in their family. And they probably are thinking like I did, this could never happen to us. We don't bother anybody. We don't sell drugs. We're good people. It happens. It happens to people who don't sell drugs. It happens to people who think they're good. It happens to people who live in nice. It happens everywhere. Homicide does not discriminate. So to do that, to move that baby's memorial like that, that was wrong. That's my opinion. And I got a right to my opinion. And guess what? You got a right to your opinion too. But wait until that happens to your family member or someone you know. And guess what? I don't do voodoo or nothing like that. But I'll tell you one thing. Either one of your family members will be affected, or you will know someone that is affected by homicide. Those are the statistics, and that is reality. So to that mother, if she's watching a show, if one of her family members are watching a show, or if you know that story, send her this tape and tell her I'm praying for her and I'm sorry that happened to her. Because her son, let me say this too, not just even talking about her, let's erase that. These people that are dying on the streets, young, old, male, female, whether they were killed because they were drug dealers, whether they were killed because they were alcoholics, or whatever, or for revenge or things like that. Listen to me. Nobody has the right to take anybody's life. Nobody has the right to do that. And nobody deserves to die like an animal crawling on the street, like you're hunting them down. You know what I always said? I always said, I could never be a young black male in the times that we live in now. And the reason why I couldn't do that is because I could understand these young guys. I know deep inside, even though they're macho and, they don't want you to think, no fear in me or whatever. But I bet you deep inside, when they walk the street, they got to watch their backs. There's a fear that must be inside of them. And this is even for young men who don't have issues with people, who go to school, try to do the right thing. They're not involved in different things. I bet you even those guys walk around with that fear. And it's because there's this category of young black men who you could just see from a distance. And because of the cap and the jacket or whatever, someone thinks, oh, ain't that dude, that dude over there on what's the name? And he did that to someone. Yeah, that's him, dog. Let's go get him, dog. Okay, you got your piece, man. Come on. Then the baby gets shot and it ain't even him. And even if it is him, you ain't got the right to do that. Whatever happened to back in the day when you used to use these? Come on, even this ain't right. I know that, right? But, we used to use these back in the day. Girls had the nails. We'd be clawing you and carrying on. Now it's guns. It's like the Wild Wild West out here. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. How many young people or older people due to homicide will I eulogize this year? I've thought about that. For 2013, how many funerals will I officiate because of homicide? Isn't that crazy to even have to think about that? But I do, because it's a reality. It is a reality. But you know what I promised myself? I don't care who I eulogize, and there will be others that I will. I will always lift up love to these young people and let them know you don't have to do this, because there is love. If you're not getting it at home, if you're not getting it, in the streets, there's some people that love you, babies. And if they could just reach out and find those people, we could just put our arms around these young people who are willing to accept our love, we could save so many lives. And I know you don't think that, but it's true. A lot of this craziness is happening because of love. They didn't grow up with love. They didn't have parents who spent time with them. There's a lot of young people who don't have fathers. And I know that's not an excuse to kill anybody. That's not an excuse for all the foolishness. But it does affect these young people. Believe me, it affects them. Don't you know that whatever happened in your childhood affects your adulthood? It does. And you can be the most biggest Christian that you want to be. You can be saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, flipping and flapping, talking in 15,000 different tongues. But it will affect your life, because we're not perfect. We are not perfect. And we have ups, and we sure enough have downs. So please, people, figure this out before the next big one happens. Get in the community. Do what you can do. And again, what happened in Connecticut, I'm sorry. What happened at the movie theater, I'm sorry. What happened in all those other big massacres. But this has been going on for a long time. It happens every day in our community. Don't just jump because some kids got killed. I'm sorry, I am. But Remember the others. There are people suffering because their loved ones got killed 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. For me, 16 years ago. And we're still hurting. It puts us in a position like no one cares. Well, I want to let you know, Melvin's Mission cares. And we're fighting for you. We care. Last thing I want to talk about is someone was on Facebook and I saw this statement about, oh, I'm getting tired of Facebook. First of all, I use Facebook for Melvin's Mission, to get it out there, to get people motivated to talk about homicide, to clear up a lot of things like that. And I heard this thing on Facebook, saw this thing on Facebook. It was like, yeah, all we see is murder, physically challenged people, big butts and big breasts and all these things, right? But you know what? Let me say this. All that big butt, big breast, and that other stuff, I'm not into that. But I'm going to tell you something. That's right. You do see murder, the topic of homicide, the topic of Melvin's Mission. And guess what? You're going to keep on seeing it. And you know what? They don't know what they did by making that statement. That lets me know that Melvin's Mission's supporting women survivors of homicide is doing on Facebook exactly what I wanted to do. It is bringing notice. It is bringing awareness. It is bringing education because people are upset about it. So I'm happy and I'm glad, and I want more of you to get upset about Melvin's Mission. You want to know why? Because one day either you're going to need it, or your mom's going to need it, or your sister's going to need it, your cousin, your auntie, or your best friend or your neighbor. They're going to need Melvin's Mission. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It is reality. Melvin's Mission is reality. Melvin's Mission is a group of women who have not been recognized for years, for centuries. And now, because of Melvin Bernard Franklin's death, his murder, his homicide, Melvin's Mission has been birthed. And guess what? She ain't going nowhere. She's at infancy stage now. But she will become an adolescent. She will become a teenager. She will become a young adult. And she will become a senior. Melvin's Mission isn't going anyplace. So she's on Facebook. Check her out. Enjoy her, because there she is. Quickly, and we're going to close. Speaking of Melvin's Mission, I like to ask those of you who keep up with the mission on Facebook, I want to say thank you. You all are great. You all are the reason why I can keep doing this. When I get all those likes and the comments, and you know how a lot of us talk on the back of the page where people can't see, you know, when we're having our secret talks and stuff. I want to thank you, ladies, because you inspire me. I know you'd say to me, you know, oh, you're this, we thank you. Look, I don't need the accolades. Know what I need? I need you to tell 10 people about Melvin's Mission and to like the page. If you could just do that for me, ladies, find 10 people and say, could you do something for me? Could you go on Facebook and check out Melvin's Mission, supporting women homicide survivors, and like their page? Because the topic is the truth. It's reality. And if you could do that for me, that would be such a blessing. It would help so much because we get that news out there quicker. So I want to say thank you for doing that. Thank you so much. Melvin's Mission is my homicide journey, as you know. I let you see what I'm doing. I let you see the places I'm going. I don't want anyone to ever think, oh, she's just doing this to show off. No, 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 no. Show off was back when I was like in my 20s. I'm a grandmother. No showing off, honey. It's about a mission. And this mission is saving women who are suffering from the loss, the murder, the homicide, the killing of a loved one. They're suffering and they need help. And that is what Melvin's Mission's Facebook page is all about. So please share it, you all. Don't forget to go to our website, www.melvinsmission.weebly.com. I'll be going on there this week, putting a lot of new stuff on it, so please check us out. Don't forget us. And what else did I want to say to you women? Be happy, ladies. Love yourselves. Be happy. Hugs, kisses. Do you. Pick yourself up. There's joy on the inside of you. Just find it. And don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about what they got to say. Because let me tell you something. If I worried about what people had to say about me a long time ago, I would not be here right now. It does not affect me anymore. Because I found my purpose for my pain. And my purpose for my pain is Melvin's Mission, supporting women survivors of homicide. I'm not going nowhere. I'm happy as a fly on. Okay? So, enjoy life. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Think about what you can do to support Melvin's Mission, to help other survivors out there who need help, and just be an anchor. Find a way to be an anchor for another survivor and pull it together. We can do this, ladies. I know we can. And we'll also be talking about the march that I want to do, get together for us. We'll talk about it at another show, Women Survivors March, okay, to bring that awareness of women survivors of homicide, that we need services, we need this program to come in fruition, and just things like that. So I want to tell you I love you. Fingers of peace, joy, and happiness. And please, ladies, never forget that I am a homicide survivor. Bye-bye.